Hey guys, me here. I'm going to talk a bit about Fortune here and Immortal and blah 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 blah. This is going to be my own storyline. You know, right now, I love the angle that Fortune is going in. I think it's really great. I mean, you see a lot of emotion, you see a lot of passion. It's the originals in TNA, you know, it's great. You're seeing the mouth, Robert Roode, the mouthpiece, you know, it's great. It's a great concept. Main Event Mafia didn't work. This is the best thing you could have. You know, I absolutely love the idea. But right now, I mean, look at Immortals. Immortals is down. I mean, you have 4 of the best wrestlers in TNA, not the 4 best, but 4 of the best wrestlers in TNA right now in one group. Now you have Immortals, which is featuring a retired guy, basically, Jeff Jarrett. You know, he's pretty much had it. But he can still go. And then you got the Hardy Brothers. And then you have the up-and-comer Rob Terry. Really, you've got the Hardy Brothers and Rob Terry. It's really not enough. I mean, yeah, you got the security guys that nobody cares about. But, hey, if Immortals, what should happen, I mean, I've posted a video recently about Desmond Wolfe, that whatever his ailment is still there, and it's career-threatening, whatever it is. But if this was my company, if I was running TNA, I mean, what I would do is I would reform the British Invasion. I would take Rob Terry, I would take Desmond Wolfe as the new member, I would take Brutus Magnus, and I'd take Douglas Williams. I would take all 4 of those guys and put them into Immortal. I mean, you already got one there with Terry. Put the other 3, have them all heels, put them in Immortal. I mean, it'd be a great idea. And that new British Invasion versus, you know, Fortune, that would be awesome. There's a lethal lockdown right there. I mean, what you can do is this British Invasion says, you know, we're trying to get up to the top in TNA, but we can't get there because of people like AJ Styles and the guys inside of Fortune. You know, it's always about them. They're the main eventers. They're this, they're that. We can't get up. We're the new generation. We want it. You know, I think it would be a great motivation and a great storyline to do that. I would love to see that. You know, I honestly think that would be a great idea. I think also what you could see is Robert Roode having a rivalry with Jeff Jarrett. Say that goes for 3 months. Let's say Beer Money, basically. I mean, they lose the titles, whatever the case may be. But Beer Money splits up, but only for 3 months. Hold on, I know. I mean, nobody wants to break up Beer Money, but let's just set it aside for a sec. Take Roode and have him with a rivalry like for 3 months with Jarrett. In the meantime, you bring back Chris Harris. I mean, I know Chris Harris burnt his bridges with TNA, but you bring back Chris Harris, sign him to a 90-day contract, and do the America's Most Wanted thing again, because, you know, they're getting into the X Division and the nostalgia of the older TNA stuff. You bring in Chris Harris and you do AMW. At the same time, you have Chris Sabin doing a few things, you know, against Jarrett and against, basically doing the same thing, you know, for the fight. That Chris Sabin was there since the beginning as well. You do a couple singles matches with Chris Sabin where he comes out with, you know, the Hail Sabin song. And, you know, just that older idea. I mean, that'd be a great storyline there. The problem, and you're going to see it, I think you're going to see it, I don't want to see it, but I think it's going to happen, is you're going to see TNA basically splitting, like the roster split in half. I hate seeing the roster split in half. I don't understand why a company can't have 2 factions anymore. You basically have one faction and a bunch of random people, you know, and the other roster. You have one faction and then the roster. Or you have 2 factions and it consists of the whole roster, you know. I mean, that's how TNA does it. WWE did it for a little while. Why can't you have 2 factions? I mean, hell, WWE at one point had like at least 4 going. They had DX, they had the Nation of Domination, they had the Ministry of Darkness, they had the Corporation, and then I mean they had the Job Squad going. I mean they had five there, and hell, even Union later on. I mean they had at least 4 going at one time. Why can't you have two factions in TNA? Immortals and Fortune. You know, you have the British Invasion join, the 4 guys I was talking about for the British Invasion join Immortals, and, you know, you picked it up. Now you got the Hardy Brothers, the 2 of them. You got Jarrett who goes, you know, and then with that, you bring in the 4 members of the British Invasion, you know, and it just picks it up. There's a lot of guys right there. You have those guys. You have the British Invasion versus Fortune, but, you know, for a huge battle, you got Immortals versus Fortune, and Chris Harris joins, and Chris Sabin joins, and you get Kurt Angle in there. I mean, you could take the original guys, and then you could take the leader, Kurt Angle, and you can put them together. I mean, take the mask off of Christopher Daniels for a little bit. I know they can't, but try to come up with a way that he's not suicide. So you have Fortune, you have Harris, you have Sabin, you have Daniels, and then you have like Kurt Angle. And then on the other side, you have the British Invasion, you have the Hardy Brothers, you have Jeff Jarrett. You know, I think that's it. Yeah, I mean, you can figure it out. You can make it. I mean, I would make it so each side has got 8 people, or 9 people. I mean, put Samoa Joe instead of Angle, put in Samoa Joe and put in somebody else in Immortals. I mean, I could sit there and figure it out and come up with a great idea. Do something like that. Make the originals go against the newer guys. You know, you turn Mr. Anderson heel. You know, I would like to see that, but don't split the roster in half. Splitting the roster in half doesn't ever work. I mean, they did it with the Main Event Mafia, and then you had the Front Line, which you saw once every month. You know, it was stupid. I think TNA has got a good vibe going. They got a lot of good things going for them right now. I'd like to see where this is going to go. I'm intrigued. I love seeing the passion that Fortune has with you know, Robert Roode. Amazing mouthpiece. Amazing mouthpiece. You know, the stuff he's saying. And the stuff he's saying, it sounds so real. And really, to an extent, it is real. Everything he's saying, you know, it is real. And it's driving home. I mean, the TNA guys, they had to take a back seat to the WWE guys that were coming into TNA. But understandably, they know, even though they may not like it, but the TNA stuff, the X Division stuff, wasn't up until recently, but wasn't going to fly. X Division wasn't going to make TNA the best. Disagree with me if you want. I don't care. It's true. More fans are going to go to TNA when they see these bigger names, when they see Kevin Nash, when they see Mr. Anderson, when they see former big WWE stars going into TNA. That's what's going to bring it up. And then when it's up, you pull the old switcheroo, and then you give all those fans a taste of something they've never seen, and that's the X Division. And that's what they're doing this year. Some of the old guys are leaving and going back to WWE, and now TNA has flipped it, and they're pushing up the X Division, giving them a whole new flavor. And you know what that's going to do is that's going to go, these fans that have never seen the X Division go, oh my God, what the hell is this shit? And that's what's going to push it. The X Division alone would not carry TNA, would not bring them up higher, because the fact is there's no big names. Nobody knows who AJ Styles is. Really, nobody knows who Kaz is, or James Storm, or Robert Roode. I mean, if you're a casual WWE fan, you don't know who these guys are, or you've heard of them and you really haven't seen them that much. But you haven't heard of Samoa Joe yet, and TNA doing this, bringing in these older guys, you know, is making people watch it, and now they're seeing the AJ Styles, and they're seeing the Samoa Joe, and they're watching them, they're going, you know, they're pretty good. And then you start seeing them climb up. You know, what it is basically, okay, the X Division made TNA go on Spike TV. Okay, so now what do we do with the X Division? You cut the legs out from under them, and you make the X Division fall. And the only way to rebuild it back up is with legends. Whether you agree or not, it's working, and TNA is making money. You're now redoing the X Division, showing the world what it can do when now TNA is more mainstream, and that's where the ratings are going to come from. And if you don't think WWE is afraid of that, why do you think all of a sudden last year they're bringing in all this youth? Because their money has gone down ridiculously. People don't want to see the old, power slam, leg drop. Nobody wants to see that anymore. So they had to start grabbing all these youth. But the problem was they're grabbing all these young guys in WWE, and they're throwing them in the spotlight, and they're giving them everything all at once. Eventually they're gonna burn out, they're gonna wear out, and they're gonna leave in a couple of years because they accomplished what they needed to accomplish. Kevin Nash said it takes about 10 years to condition a wrestler. TNA wrestlers are conditioned. WWE youth is not. And WWE was panicking because, shit, you know what? TNA, this X division, it can kick our ass. We got to bring in all these young guys. And the fact is, they're giving these young guys title after title after title. TNA has been around for like almost 9 years, and they've had a total of, what, 14, 15 different champions. That's not a lot. WWE since 2005 has had like 14, 15 different champions. So WWE is, okay, this guy's flavor of the month, make him the champion until his stuff stops selling, and then we'll give it to somebody else. And we'll do that to them. And that's what they've done, and that's what they're doing. And WWE is tanking more and more and more every friggin' year, and TNA is uprising. WWE's falling, TNA's going up. You know, you can't deny it, and it's working. A long time it's been taking, but it's working, and I absolutely love it.